Steve and Jill here.
Good day.
Welcome to the House Academy Show, entertaining real estate investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about how the gold is in the follow-up.
Oh, yes, it is.
Such a simple sentence, isn't it?
It is. It sounds like duh. Well, for some people, it's probably duh. For some people, let's just say that.
Yeah.
For some people, are like, what does that mean? I didn't know. What is good follow-up? Well, we can help you.
Is there such thing as too much follow-up?
No.
That's what I think too.
No.
I don't think you can do it too much.
Well, there is.
Like
Let's put it
every
this way.
hour.
Depending on when you're on the buy side or the sell side. Is my deed done yet? Is my deed done yet? Is the deed done
Yeah.
yet? That's too much. You know, you don't ever want to be in that position. Or like, did you make the payment yet? Did you make the payment yet? So be chill. Think about it like dating. You don't want to scare them away. Right? Seriously. That's true.
There's definitely too much follow-up in dating.
Yeah, right? He's not texting me. He's not texting me.
You know what? This is a great way to talk about this topic.
Like dating. This is great. This is perfect. What's appropriate follow-up after a first date? And what's appropriate follow-up after you get contact from a seller?
So what are...
We can
okay,
help.
go ahead. I want to hear this.
Well, we don't do it in the show?
No, yeah, okay, all right, let's take the question first.
Okay.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the houseacademy.com online community. It's free.
I like when you get excited about my dating advice. It's funny. Okay.
Because I know it's right.
Thank you. And I can save a lot of people outside of this show, too. Andrew says, do you ever use skip tracing and texting to owners, or you just mail them? Good question.
Oh, that's a great question, Andrew.
Yeah.
So we, at this moment of recording this show,
What time is it now?
we are exclusively direct mail blind offer campaigns with pricing.
Right.
We own a company called ParcelFact, which helps you find real estate regardless of whether or not it has an address. A lot of land out there does not yet have a USPS postal address. So it's tough to find it. Well, we solved that whole problem with ParcelFact, and so you look up a property and you've got all the information you could ever dream of.
Mm-hmm. Land
right
or
there.
houses?
Yeah, land or houses right now. Wouldn't it be great if you could just click on something and click on a button and send them a text message?
Yeah.
And
Or
then
get their
click
phone
on the
number.
person next door, get all the information, send them a text message.
Or email?
Yeah, so that's all in the works. The developers have been hired. It's all been scoped out. So when that gets released, it'll be released for House Academy members and Land Academy members. But we're probably conservatively 60 days away. And that's, it's funny, actually it came up in this show because can you imagine sending out letters, then sending them a text message saying, hey, I just want to make sure you got my offer.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I know that you live right next door to XYZ address. Well, we just bought that property and we don't want to take it to market yet. Here's the do this by text message. Are you interested in buying it for X? We can save a lot of time and money.
Mm-hmm.
So there's huge implications for all this. And I'm very, very excited about it. I love these.
Yeah.
This type of tech project is right up my alley.
Well, just that we all know, I love your statistic about, I can't remember what that, the percentage of people that buy property, houses in the neighborhood are within, is it 1 mile? Or?
Yeah, within 1 mile.
Is it
50%.
Yeah. It's always that your neighbor, your family member, people want to move closer. That's traditional. So all I could do is what Steven's working on for us is you'll be able to draw a mile and blast out a text. And then how great is that? You don't even have to post it for sale.
Here's some staggering numbers. Between 17 and 20% of the people in this country move every year. So 20% of the population in this country moves. About
Amazing.
50% of this country owns their own home. So when you do the numbers on that, it's amazing how many people move. It's no wonder real estate agents make so much money.
Mm-hmm.
50%, about 48 to 50% of the properties that sell, the SFRs that sell, are sold to somebody who has friends and family of another SFR within a 1 mile radius. So think about how staggeringly powerful that is to get this skip tracing email. Even we've been doing it with direct mail, and taking advantage of this data for a real long time. But I'm so excited now that technology is finally caught up so that we can implement these old school concept about buying and selling real estate with new technology.
Just get out there faster.
Yep. Today's topic, the gold is in the follow-up. This is why you're listening.
Okay, so do you want to hear about the dating philosophy first or the business philosophy
I
first?
specifically want to know when it is appropriate to call a girl after you went out to dinner with her and you think it worked. You're a guy and you think that the whole thing kind of worked and you want to just have date number 2. How long do you wait?
I personally think that a little message that night would be okay. Is acceptable, like a little text, not an hour-long phone call, but just like I had a great time, I can't wait to see you again kind of thing. And then maybe the next day or the day after, when you have something special lined up for the date, you say, hey, I'm just about to push the button on tickets to go see XYZ band Saturday night. Are you available? What's so funny?
This is how much I must have screwed up our first experience.
Oh. Yeah. Thank goodness I could see through all that, babe.
All right.
Yeah.
And so you go see this band, and what happens? Together.
Right. Together. Well, and then keep in mind, hopefully, you both are dating several people.
Okay.
So that's what's the thing, too. You want to know right away that the date, because like for the girl, too, the woman, if we think there was a connection, it's nice to know that you thought there was a connection, too. That we're not just sitting there laying in bed going, am I reading too much into this kind of thing? When they say, you know what, I really had a nice time, and I can't wait to see you again. Even though hopefully you ended the conversation like that, you're just like a little follow-up. And then you really do follow up with something good.
So
We don't need the flowers 2 days later or stuff like that. That's kind of
here's why guys don't follow that protocol. And I understand exactly why you're saying that, because more than half the time, it's going to result in this deluge of text messages from this girl.
Oh, well, I understand.
Especially,
and that's a whole separate This is to help. This is for you. Yeah, and then I have to have a separate closed door conversation with all the women listening and just say, knock it off. This is why you need to up your numbers. And that's, again, a whole nother conversation.
All right. So that's Jill's socially accepted man follow-up texting. Is it okay this day and age, since everything is so equalized, for women to say, hey, I had a great time and I'm buying some concert tickets?
No, not that early in the relationship. I wouldn't, because you scare a guy away. I think it's a bit of the man's role and the woman's role. And if woman reached out, we unfortunately, it's too often women are thought of as being overly assertive. And so I don't think that we can do that. Do you agree?
I don't know.
Oh.
You know what? Honestly, it depends on the person.
Yeah.
I think the vast majority of the stuff like this that I've been involved in, obviously, long before you, is just ended in a fiery ball of disaster.
Right. Well, I think where it goes sideways? It's just, then it gets into this conversation. Well, what about this? And what about that? What about this? And what about that? And then it's like, you can't, somebody's got to end the conversation too. Sometimes that's the hardest part. Like, I got to go to sleep now, and you don't want to you don't just want to, you're afraid to go dark, but one of you has to go dark.
Yeah.
So.
You're one of the very few people on the planet that I've ever met, very few women, that is incredibly comfortable with your gender, and you embrace your gender, and you just don't take it too far. You don't try to be a guy, or you don't try to be
Thank you.
the biggest fluffy type girly girl there ever was.
Thank you.
I really mean it. I mean, that's a huge compliment.
I
It's
appreciate
very,
that.
very unique.
Thank you.
It's hard to find, Jill.
Thank you.
All right, so a guy calls.
We'll get to this topic here in a minute.
You send a mailer. So you send a
Oh, you want to get to the topic?
house mailer out.
Okay, now we're
I'm going to ask the same
gears.
question.
Okay.
Do you mind if I ask you this? You send a mailer out, a bunch of house mailers out.
Yeah.
Offers. Guy calls you back.
Seller.
And seller calls you back and says,
Right.
I just talked to my wife, and we are going to sell a house. We're going to retire early.
Yep.
What's the next step?
We need to put the plan in place. Let's agree on what we're doing. We're going to agree on the price. We're going to agree on the terms.
Well, he's got an offer price right there.
Well, did he agree on it?
I'm asking you. What do you say to him?
Does that price work for you?
Okay, good.
I mean, that's really where we're going. And
Now
if
we're
he
getting
says,
somewhere.
heck yes, and then my next thing is, awesome, I want to come out and see it. And if it's not me, it's my team, my boots on the ground.
And how fast should that happen?
Not that day, but the next day, maybe that day.
I would argue
don't know.
that day.
It's how about this? It happens as quickly as the seller is open to it. You know what? I'm got something going on this weekend. Can we do it on Tuesday? The answer is yes.
Okay, now here's the kicker.
Ready.
The next day, okay, so you go see this shit thing and everybody says, yep, I want, BOG says yeah, the boots on the ground say yes, we say yes.
Right.
And the seller's wife calls back and says, because this happens often.
Well, in a minute, I have a couple points that are going to address some of this stuff. But keep going with your question.
Seller's wife calls back and says, we thought about it and we just don't want to sell. Now's not the right time.
Then you screwed up somewhere in the process.
Wow, Jill, that's awesome.
It's true. Because if
You're so
show up,
good at this.
thank you. If you show up and you did exactly what you said you're going to do there on Tuesday, and you already told them on Tuesday, great, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to come out on Tuesday, and we're going to do it. And I'm going to just take some preliminary pictures, just have you show me around. I want to, just see what you said. This needs work and that way's work, great. And then I'll pick up the purchase agreement from you there. Make sure you guys have signed it, done. Oh, and have some dates already on the calendar that we can schedule the inspection. Great, that's fantastic. So the guy already knows when I'm going to come out, I'm going to do those 3 things. Purchase agreement, take some pictures, meet him, shake his hand, by the way, and schedule the inspection. The process has already started. I've already got him mentally committing to this. If you don't do that, that's where you drop the ball because they don't have time to even think about backing out because it's already like, this is great. Oh, and we know what's happening next. So then on Tuesday, I show up on time, maybe with muffins or cookies or something, I don't know. And, and I do exactly what I say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hi, thank you, and hi, I'm here. If you don't mind to use my cell phone, whatever. I'm taking pictures. Perfect, you've got that sign. Thank you very much. And then, hey, so what days do you guys think are best? And I'll call my inspection guy right now while I'm here with you so we can make sure it all works out for everybody and get that all lined up. And don't forget, by the way, you don't pay a thing for any of that. This is all on my dime. Awesome. How are they going to have time to rethink this? It's already happening?
I'm actually floored right now.
Oh.
Because I know you guys do a lot of stuff on the other side of the company.
Thank you.
Post-act, it's truly, you're right. They can't say no, when you approach it this way.
Let me get back to, let me tell you why I'm so confident about this and what this means to me. The gold is in the follow-up for a couple of reasons. Number one, time does kill deals. See, so if I let a lapse in there where they don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know if they're half in, they don't know, is she really going to follow through? She said she wants to buy it, but we haven't heard from her in 3 days. I don't know. Maybe now we're going to pick up the phone and start calling and shopping our deal because this person who sent us this offer went dark. As far as they're concerned, I went dark. So I've got to be on it and have a plan and follow through and don't let too much time pass, number one. And if I ever miss one of their phone calls too, you better believe I'm calling back right away. They're calling me. If they call me for any reason, and that goes into my step 2 is, or I want them to, my goal is in the follow-up is because I'm trying to foster open communication with them too, because I need to know if there are any issues. So if I'm available and I'm doing everything I say, when you said the minute the wife goes, I'm not sure this is the right time for us. How about that? If I've started this open communication, I've been right there and diligent and starting to build this communication with her, she's going to say, Jill, hold on, Mom, this is all kind of going too fast, and here's what. Can we please wait 1 week? I want to, my kids are coming. It's the holidays, whatever it is. I just don't want to think about it right now. Can we please move it a couple days and we'll be there? Absolutely. You need that communication. And I'm going to know right away if she's starting to have second thoughts and I can start to readjust. And the third thing about the gold and the follow-up is it's important to build this relationship because you're building trust also. Not only to know what's going on, but they need to know that I'm sincere and I'm going to do what I'm going to say I'm going to do.
We've done over 1,000 shows on the Land Academy show, and this is show number 18. I don't recall ever doing a show with you where you have more conviction and you're just more, this is obviously a topic for you.
Thank you.
This is, now it's clear to me why we buy so many houses. Well, I knew this, but
thank you.
You really have this figured out.
I do. You got to learn.
And you don't do it in an annoying way.
Thank you.
I've done a million real estate deals with you, and it's not annoying. You're befriending these people.
Yeah.
And you're really, truly get the money that they agreed to sign the thing for and all that.
Yeah. Thank
Fantastic,
you.
Jill.
Thank you
I
very
have
much.
nothing else to add. Nothing.
Thank you. This went a little longer than I wanted. Thank you.
Hey, we know your time's valuable. Thanks for spending some of it with us today. Join us next time for the episode called Take This Personality Test.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community at houseinvestors.com. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. It's houseacademy.com in this company.
Is that not what I said?
You said house investors, which I do this all the time.
Did I say that?
Yeah, it's okay. It's totally okay.
Now I'm
I do it.
confusing everything. Excuse
I know.
me. Houseacademy.com. That's free too. Well, not exactly. But our online community is free. How's that? That was good.
So did you ever approach this? Like when you, this incredibly premeditated way to get what you want in dating men? Because there's a book deal for you.
Oh, yeah.
I will be able to publish a book for you if you can come up with some of these stories.
I am not sure I want to answer this in this format.
So the answer is yes.
Great question, though. I really appreciate that. We'll save that for another show.
Maybe tomorrow we'll talk about it.
Maybe. Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there.
We are Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.